Hi, Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. This is going to be your general reading for April 2023. This is a general reading. I have to stress this. And what that means is that I'm reading for a lot of Sagittarian people, and so the story may not resonate with you. In which case, I suggest that you check back to your moon and your rising sign, okay? If you know those things. In order to gain any insight into your own situation requires a personal reading. And you can contact me there at that email address, hiddenlotustarot@gmail.com, to book a reading. And you don't have to wait until I post videos you can get a reading anytime you feel that you need some kind of insight or counsel. You can go to my About Box section of the channel, and there I have listed the reading packages, which is the number of minutes, number of questions, and the price. And then you simply email me, hey Tara, I want the 30-minute reading. And I usually respond back within 24 to 48 hours. So if you contact me and you haven't heard from me in a couple of days, please check your spam folder, all right? So I posted up the Pisces new moon, which is today. And tomorrow we have the spring equinox and that hybrid solar eclipse. So I hope you got an opportunity to see that, all right? I have with me today the Radiant White deck. I have with me the La Vida Sibila. And we'll be wrapping this month's reading up with the Psychic Oracle Tarot. Now, I'm going to go ahead and turn the camera around, try to do it slowly because, you know, me and electronics. And I have already done some meditation and shuffling. I don't know what that was. It just fell. Okay. I have done some meditation and shuffling already on the Sagittarian sign and glyph. Get this up. And we're going to put another rifle and shuffle on the deck. And then we'll deal down 9 cards, okay? I hope everyone is, is well. There's your first card, obviously. And in case you can't really see it, I'll show it to you in just a moment. Okay, this is the 3 of Wands. Some of you have made a decision or will be making a decision to move forward on something. It will require more planning. There may be 3 people involved in the situation. And it also says that there may be suspended activities before any future successes are realized. So we'll see in the context of the reading what this is about, okay? Usually, in my experience, the wands just simply represent the, your focus, your passion, your determination. So to me, this is an indication that something came in, the idea, the Ace of Wands, the decision or choice whether to move forward with it or not. But it's something new, okay? It's a new passion or a new focus or a new determination. Maybe you want to lose weight. Maybe you want to clean up your finances. Okay, you got that fire to do that thing. So let's deal the rest of the cards. Let me cut. Next card. Oh, wow. The Ace of Swords. Right off the bat. Well, the Queen of Pentacles. I didn't show you the first card. I just talked about it, but there it is. There's the image. The 3 of Wands. Next row. Oh, my goodness. The Lovers. Next card. Well, the 10 of Wands. Already there's a caution here. And I'll explain that in a moment. The Star card. Last row. Oh my. It is the King of Pentacles. So I'm looking at a couple. Okay. Same sex or heterosexual. Whomever's going to identify with the male role and whomever's going to identify with the female role. The 2 of Wands. And my last card down, the Five of Wands. Well, what is the energy over the entire reading? It is the Temperance. So this is a situation about patience, moderation, and compromise. All right. Now, let me turn my thing on because I can do a 5-hour reading. I sure could. Okay, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4 wands. All right. A sword, 2 pentacles, and 2 major arcana. This is, I know y'all hear me say this all the time. It's interesting. And no matter how many times I do a reading, and no matter who I'm reading for, the stories that the cards tell, the situations that they present are always interesting. So in the center, I have the 10 of Wands. It is a 10, and a 10 is a focus on a completion. The next level or the next step from the 10 of Wands would be the Ace of Wands, because we know that this situation eventually will come to an end. So the 10 of Wands is a card about responsibilities, okay? Sometimes heavy responsibilities, what you might consider to be a burden. But I always, to me, burdens are carried on our backs, not in front of us. So to me, this is the idea of you trying to do too many things, or you've got, quote unquote, too many irons in the fire. The card can also say that, you are taking on more things than you should. And if you are not delegating or getting cooperation from other people and whatever it is you are trying to accomplish, you're taking on all of that, then you deny them the lesson of cause and effect, karma. I've seen the card show up when somebody's been a financial drain on you or financial strain on you. You're carrying this individual financially, and you're paying all of the bills, and you're cleaning the house, and you're driving the kids to school. You're doing too much, okay? So at some point, I see that you have this, okay? And that is always my counsel for this particular card. A burden shared or a burden half is a burden shared. This is the idea of having to divide up those wands. Maybe you got to put five of them down to the side, okay? And in this way, you can clearly see where you're going, because as you can see, he's got a destination over here to this building or this home. And he's just trying to get there by putting one foot in front of the other. But he may stumble, he may fall, because he can't see where he's going, okay? Now, past, present, future interplay of the cards. I've talked to you about the Three of Wands and explained what that means, but here it is followed up by the Ace of Swords, the most powerful ace in the deck. And when it appears, it says that something will be changing, and you're not going to have any control over it. Now, the Ace of Swords, it is a swords card, and swords represent thoughts, beliefs, perceptions, ideas, and communications. It can sometimes also indicate a contractual issue, a proposal put forth, okay? And if this is not about a romance, it is about a partnership, okay? And we know that there are many different types of partnerships here. And so this card is about new ideas coming in, new ways of communicating, new ways of putting plans together and communicating those plans in a rational, logical manner. But it is a swords card, so therefore it can be, it can cut both ways. It can be the excessive degree of everything: worry, anxiety, fear, feeling as though things are just not going right, arguments and disagreements. So it's that double edge that it has, okay? Nevertheless, it is about something changing, either the way you think, the way you communicate, not just with other people, but even yourself. And what are you going to do with your plans and how you're going to do them? Now, I have the Queen of Pentacles, and although I'm reading for a fire sign, you, Sagittarius, can embody the energy of the Queen of Pentacles or even the King of Pentacles. And basically, what the Queen of Pentacles is about, she is grounded, she is detail oriented, she is kind. She may usually work in places that where, maybe where they take care of children, or they take care of animals, or something to do with the environment. So NGOs, things of that nature. Feed the children, save the animals, save the environment, that kind of thing. She can also work in the realm of finance. So she can be an accountant, a banker, a financial advisor. She can even just simply be a cashier. Okay, so she's going to be good and practical in handling money, may give good grounded advice. Here across the present row, we come to the Lovers. Now, I said at first this is a couple, and this is a couple, okay? The Lovers card can be about a soulmate relationship, or a soulmate union, where you just get each other, okay? You respect each other, you love each other, and you support each other. But I've also seen the cards show up sometimes when two people, there's a bunch of disharmony and discord between the two, and they maybe should not be together, okay? But ultimately, really what the Lovers card is about, it is about a choice, okay? And it is the understanding that once we make one choice, it closes the door on the path to another choice. So the card counsels, be careful about the thing that you say you want. Be careful about the choices that you make, because it will have, once you make the choice, it's going to have far-reaching consequences. All right? The Star card. And I'm going to tell you something. There's a thorny situation between this Queen and this King. That looks like a shark's tooth to me. So there's a thorny situation here. Now I come to the Star card, one of the three luminaries, the other two being the Sun and the Moon. The Star card is an indication of, for lack of a better term, following your true north. Okay, it is about the idea of having hopes and dreams. If we don't have hopes and dreams, life could be pretty bleak. Even people who were in the concentration camps, they had hopes and dreams, okay, before they went in, if they survived while they were there, and if they survived when they came out. They have hopes and dreams. So hopes and dreams are very, very important. The card says to maintain your faith in your hopes and dreams, right? And continue to draw from your own well. And then take whatever you're drawing from your own well and pour it out into the 5 directions. And let me see, the 5 directions are mind, body, spirit. Oh, I can't think of the other 2. Somebody out there knows them, so if you want, you can come up underneath the video and tell us about it, okay? And then we have the King of Pentacles. Now, the King of Pentacles has the same qualities as this Queen. But there's a difference in the sense that this is a more internal energy, and kings represent a more external, outward-facing energy. Both kings and queens are the airy part of each suit. So when I say the airy part of earth, what I mean is, in order, when you're growing up, by the time you become a king or a queen, you know how to formulate plans, you know how to make ideas, you know how to do stuff, you know how to communicate with people, you know how to work and cooperate, teamwork. So it is the airy part of earth. So this guy would be a business owner. She could be too. He could be a banker, a mortgage, a financier. So can she. Okay. He has built his own business. He is wealthy. Or maybe he has a lot of property holdings, or maybe he got a bunch of coins, maybe he got a bunch of crypto. I don't know. Okay. And he's wealthy, but he built his business. This is not the guy who was born with the silver spoon in his mouth. All right. And so he too would be practical in terms of building something, or giving advice financially, or giving advice on how to build something. But we see there's a decision here. So we have the 2 of Wands, and it's a 2. No matter what suit, any 2 represents the idea of a choice an option, a decision, a duality, an opposition, someone actively opposing you, or you being opposed within yourself. Should I or shouldn't I? Will I or won't I? It talks about the idea of making decisions, important decisions. Now, if you'll notice, here with the 3, he's looking out. We could say into the future, perhaps. But this guy is faced in the opposite direction. He's faced towards the past. And this card says that he's done something already, but he knows that there's more to do. He has the world in his hands right now, but there's more work to do. Whereas this character has already made the decision to move forward. But whatever happens, whatever the deal is, it creates some kind of dissension. It is the 5 of Wands. All 5s are changing energies, but the changes are full of tension. So there could be arguments, there could be fights, disagreements, arguments, everyone trying to get their 2 cents worth in. I've seen the card as well show up when it says that somebody is playing head games, saying one thing and doing another, fighting like children, even fighting over children. I've seen that show up. And so what this tells me is that these 2 people are at odds about something. See the choice here? He wants to go forward. That's his choice. That's his decision. She has hopes and dreams, but maybe disagrees with whatever the decision is. Here in the center with the 10 of Wands, they are at cross purposes. She wants to go one way. This is her new idea. But he's going, no. That's not the way it needs to go. So the Temperance card comes out to talk about compromise. Learning to compromise. It also talks about maintaining an emotional balance so that you can make the best decisions for yourself. The question, am I on the right path? This card says, yes, you are on the right path. Okay. The 2 cups. This is Sagittarius. This is your card. So it talks about the idea of balancing the fire and the water, the emotions with the passion. Passion is not always about love. It could be anger. It could be fear. It could be any number of emotions that create a passionate response to whatever is happening around you. So the card says that if you can sit down and negotiate or come to a compromise, then both parties will be satisfied and everybody will be happy. But here's what I will tell you. I had a very wealthy friend who worked in corporate America. And he says, when we're sitting down doing deals, and then once the deal is over, we get up, we walk away. They have to negotiate. And he says, it's a good deal when you both walk away from the table without really getting what you wanted. That means it was fair, it was reasonable. You had to be logical, you had to be practical, you had to be fair to come to some kind of compromise to get the deal done. And I thought that was one of the most brilliant things I've ever heard anybody tell me. So these people are at cross purposes, and I think both of them feel as though the other is dragging them down. Okay? But a realistic check of circumstances needs to be had here. And so I'm going to turn these 2 cards over because traditionally they represent people. And what does that leave me? Well, it leaves me a lot of fire energy going on here, right? All of the wands and this 1 sword as they relate to these 2 cards. So here we go. Some kind of compromise can be found. I do feel that this is true. But is it going to be easy? No. You're going to have to sit down and hash it out. Here we go. 3 of Wands. Nothing about the 3 of Wands. But in this case, it kind of, because it kind of fell out like this. So this could be the idea that you're being hasty. No progress is being made. That people are being uncooperative. Okay. And in a way, that's what these 2 cards are saying to me. There's a conflict here. The Ace of Swords. Let's see if the Ace has anything to tell us next to any of these major arcana cards here. No, it does not. 10 of Wands. With the Star card, the 10 of Wands with the Star card. It is implying that your current plans will come to fruition in quick time and that all you undertake will be successful. A most favorable time is following. But here is what this card says. It talks about being overburdened with responsibilities and commitments, and has with it a sense of oppression, which can cause unhappiness and distress. It can even indicate that pride is standing in the way of delegation. And if it's not addressed and the workload not shared evenly, then this may prove too much and cause further duress. It can show somebody who's burdened with stress and worries and who's trying to do too much at any time, at one time. It can indicate not being at peace with yourself and someone acting in a selfless, thoughtless manner. It tells you also to prepare yourself to be calm and strong in the face of unexpected events or situations so that you are able to deal with them accordingly. So as you can see, this is not really a negative reading that whatever it is you're trying to do, you can't accomplish. It's just that there's some, I think, a battle of wills going on here. And maybe you are seeing the situation from two different ends of the spectrum. Quite possible. And you can't reconcile that because this is a card of reconciliation. And reconciliation is not just about getting together. It is about reconciling the opposites. What is happening? What are the two opposites? And figuring out a way to bring the two opposites together. And that can be difficult sometimes. The 2 of Wands. Nothing about the 2 of Wands. But here, if you were to cleverly yet fairly negotiate, the outcome will be favoring. This card tells of boldness, courage, and embarking on a new enterprise. It represents boldness, restricted freedom, dominance from another, and separation. So you may feel the need for separation in order to feel in control of your own destiny. This card asks you to assert your independence and not allow others to deny you this freedom. You should not allow yourself to be drawn into something against your will. Show strength or you will regret it. And I feel that this is a problem. I feel that each of you want your own way in this. But as long as you feel that way or you're behaving that way or acting in that manner, you're not going to be able to progress. This is what the spread is saying. So here I want to look at the 5 of Wands. It may be telling you to loosen your grip on a situation as the constant competition is depleting your energies. It tells of learning new strategies and gearing up for challenges. It is a message telling you that the situation calls for clarity and truth. It is important to sort out the facts and state them firmly. Cooperation is required, so it is imperative to have the facts straight. It is a 5, which indicates a time of changes and ups and downs and represents competition, gain, and courage. You will need inner strength and resolve in order to weather the storm, and the 5 of Wands shows that you have the strength that is required. It asks that you not be afraid to give the facts in order to gain cooperation. It is implying sometimes that someone is playing games, and these games can very often be mind games, like someone saying one thing and meaning another. It indicates discordance within a work situation. So, I think what I find to be most funny about this, from the 3 to the 10 gives me 7 wands. 7 wands, it's a 7, and 7's always is a time of questioning oneself, thinking about what has come before and what will come after. And if you look at the 7 of wands, it's always an indication of me of somebody who's got too much going on. You know, they have to just jump up real quick and, you know, throw their shoes on. The character even has two separate shoes on. I don't know if any of you, you know, back when I worked in corporate America, sometimes I'd be running late and I would jump up and I get to work and I find out I had on a blue shoe, a dark blue shoe and a black shoe, or a blue sock and a black sock, or a brown sock and a black sock. Okay, and so that's always the energy of this particular card for me. And so from the 3 to the 7 gives me 10, right? I mean, from 3 to 10 gives me 7. Then it's divided in half. The 10 gives me 5. But coming back this way, from the 5 to the 2 brings me back to the 3 of Wands. So it's almost like this argument has been going on in a circular motion, in some kind of way, shape, or form, and you're not getting any place. So if I had to pick a card, right in the center of this 10 of Wands, what is this feeling of being burdened or stressed or worried with all of this anxiety, trying to do too much at one time, maybe someone even trying to hold you back? I just think that two people are at odds with each other, and I don't know, you know, why. So let's see if the 10 of Wands will tell us or give us some kind of indication. Happiness of the heart. Well, there's discord going on here. The reunion, the meeting. That's really all this card is about. It can indicate a date, but it could be a meeting, a business meeting, any kind of meeting. Not one in which you would go to see a doctor or a specialist like that. And then the final card, La Costanza, the perseverance. In this case, what this card is saying is that whatever this situation is, this meeting of the minds and meeting of the hearts, it has been a situation that has kind of been stagnant. It's taking a long time to rectify itself, okay? And so basically it's just going to come down to learning to compromise. And earth sign people can be quite stubborn when they want to be, even Virgos, okay? Tauruses are not the only stubborn earth signs. And Capricorns can be quite stubborn when they want to be. So, formulate your question for the Psychic Oracle Tarot. You're just going to have to figure out how to compromise. Sit down, make your list of pros and cons, both of you, and come to the table to negotiate. Because the card, in a sense, ensures, even with this card, these three cards, ensures that the project will be successful. You know, pleasure and happiness and good things coming by a meeting of the minds, of coming together. And the Costanza card can sometimes indicates building something, okay? Takes a long time, but right now, the situation hasn't changed, okay? Because you guys are fighting. So, the 6 of Wands, the card says victory and success. So it's not a bad reading at all. You're just going to have to, you know, give up something to get a little something. Good news is on the way. The qualities of this positive card are competition, victory, and success that often follow a difficult period. Many people around you are very proud to see how you triumphantly came through it. They respect you and may even attempt to follow your example. You have worked hard and devoted much effort to get to this point in your life, where you've become wiser and have grown in so many ways. Always remember to stop and pat yourself on the back, as you deserve it. But this card also reminds you to stay grounded. Remember where you came from and keep your ego in check. Don't lose who you really are. This victory can be used as a teaching tool for the future. Realize that if you came through this challenging time, you can achieve anything. So that is what I have for you, Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. I hope this helps for April 2023. Be well.